And welcome back to another episode as we're continuing on with our Germany playthrough. Hope everyone has had a nice holiday break here during Thanksgiving. Took a little break from uploading, but we're going to be getting back into it now and continue on with the Germany playthrough. So last we left off, we conquered Greece, dealt with Yugoslavia, essentially solidifying the sort of European main peninsula region. For the Axis, we have no more opposition on the main part of the landmass here, eliminating a lot of our threats. So now we can look to focusing on the East and the buildup against the USSR, and potentially maybe help Italy down here and Africa. I think we could eliminate a lot of these British and French troops here actually by doing a naval invasion of Tunisia. That was one thing I was looking at for potential counterattack there. Might be something to look at. We do have a few things to address. I think we need to go ahead and invite these guys. Okay, so that was just a leftover request they made. They are already in the faction. We do have a, let's see, we do have a perk we can spend here. I think it might make sense to get torpedo cruisers. Maybe this for the submarines, fleet subs, a lot of good options here. I think more than anything we'll probably end up getting the fleet submarines. I think it makes the most sense given our playstyle here we're going to be going with. Got another trait here for Henschel. Let's go and upgrade that. See, we got a few traits we need to upgrade. Let's get the speed here for the medium tank designer. And again, another one here. Let's go and assign that. Just have so many of these. This is for the assault gun. Let's get this for the medium SP artillery. For the escort. Sub designer. Yep. Okay. So many of these to do. This is for our fighter one. We'll want to get the speed. The agility is always good. This is for our cast. Let's get the ground attack factor. And more ground attack factor. Excellent. Let's go and swap out any of our production that we need to. Oh, that's right. We need to check these designs. Okay, this is the one we want to go with. Yeah. Extra fuel tanks. Okay. So we'll want to get rid of this one. This is for the improved small fighter. Let's swap this one out here. With that, we need to check this design actually. Because what I was going to do is put on the self-sealing fuel tanks. But I'd like to get the engine 4s first. That does help with the air defense quite a bit, though. I mean, how much are we losing on the agility? Not much. For a very significant increase on the air defense, let's go and send that upgrade, and then once we get the engine, it'll just make it even better. Alright, let's go ahead and swap out the tanks here. So these are the Panzer IIs. Our light tanks. Yes, just want to make sure I swap out the right ones. So we're not missing out any of that. Man, there are just so many tanks. Got the SP artillery. This is the one downside of doing all the different types of artillery and mechanized equipment is it can be pretty demanding to go through all your production and update it every time you need to make upgrades. It says we do have some production resource issues, but I haven't unpaused the game yet. We have an incoming raid here. Let's go ahead and make sure that we, let's see, take our fighter wings, deploy them here. I don't care too much, but let's just set them to interception, and let's build some anti-air here in Paris. Otherwise, we're just grounding the Air Force there. What's our fleet doing? Okay, so our fleet's just staying here. They're doing mine lane. Remember, we're building up that fleet, trying to get something that can, you know, maybe stand up to the British Air Force and Navy. We got a few of these we can get. We got big discounts. So gonna go ahead and do that. And we want to get the, did we go ahead and we do the, what is it? Recognize the Luftwaffe. Yeah. So we did get that, which is good. Which gave us the new guy. Was it Kesselring? No, it gave us Helmuth Wilberg, which gives us the big air superiority bonus. Right. You would have to not be fascist to be able to use that. That's unfortunate. So can we get back Goring then? Yeah, I don't see any reason why we couldn't get Goring. We just needed it to... We just had to get rid of him to get that focus. So we can hire him back because he gives us some nice bonuses. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Okay, well, this is a little disappointing, but not a big deal. Okay, well, let's get rid of that. I'm assuming this is Navy stuff. Yeah, that's fine. We'll just build one more of each of these. And then we will go ahead and put them back in production. When we can get those dockyards queued back up, put them into the high seas fleets as soon as those are done. All right, excellent. We got some resistance to occupation in Belgium. We do need to set up maybe the Reichskommissariats. That's one thing one of our viewers pointed out would be quite helpful. But we can actually use some of these guys to root out resistance in the region for the time being. Make it a little bit easier on our garrisons. Speaking of which, we do need to set these to the cavalry. And as soon as we get the military police, we need to put them on here. Yeah, because we do not have the military police right now. And that's something we're going to need to do. I'm also going to make some adjustments, I think, to my main divisions here. We're going to remove some of these guys to maybe try and get to something like this, maybe. I think 21 width is still good. So what would we do? We'd want to do like... I'm essentially just trying to have less infantry deployed if possible, but we may have to keep working on this design. Then we would do anti-air. We'd do something like this. I don't really like the double anti-tank though. So we could do a more anti-air like that. Because if we do another artillery and then we get rid of that, then we're at 22 width. So we would have to do something like that. With more anti-air. If we add the division back, we'd have to get rid of both the anti-air. Or just put the anti-air on. This is actually probably what we're going to do. We don't need the anti-tank on there. Yeah, I think that's probably what we're going to do. Then I wanted to come back over and check on this, because we could do armored signal instead, which we're going to swap that out. These are our panzer divisions. Okay, so these are just our normal panzer divisions. I want to swap it out on this one. Yeah, so let's get the armored signal companies. I don't think there's an armored logistics. This is the, what is this? Armored engineer company. Okay, so that's the armored ones. Okay, perfect. So I wanted to go and upgrade that one. These are motorized. Let's get logistics on there. And we got the assault engineer companies. We're going to leave it as that. Okay, I think that's pretty good. And we are deploying some paratroopers, which I don't know if we customize these. Okay, we did. So that looks fine to me. We'll continue to train those up. We'll get them fully set up and ready to go. Let's go and unpause the game here. Just some initial setup as we kind of get back into the swing of things here. We have all of our divisions, I believe, on the border except these guys. And apparently we do have actually some divisions here in Athens that we need to clean up. I'm sure our allies would be able to deal with it, but we're just going to go ahead and assist in cleaning that up because I don't want to have any pockets open. And of course we got a new little thing there. Doesn't matter too much, but I want to go and clean up that Greek pocket, make sure we don't have a foothold for the Allies to work their way into. Which is, of course, a ever-present threat. We know the Allies love to do their naval invasions, so we should be able to push them out of there with ease. Work our way down there. Nothing too crazy. And what do we got going on here? So we should be able to intercept this. 73% chance to repel the raid. Okay. It should be relatively effective, all things considered. We may have to do some naval invasions of these islands, as much as I really don't want to. I think it's better to do it than not to. Like I said, I really don't want to leave any footholds for the Allies to get into here. We may as well do the Dodecanese as well. I could do Malta as well. I don't know if we're actually going to have naval supremacy here, because, yeah. Did the Italians already get their fleet destroyed? Yep, they already did. Okay, well, we're not going to be able to do anything here. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. May as well bring our troops back then. Yeah, I mean, I would have to get my fleets through there. Yeah, I'd have to get them through there, and then, you know, I'd have to compete with the British. I have to get through Gibraltar or the Suez, so not gonna worry about that just yet. Well, these divisions, we can just bring them, I don't know, just bring them back to Berlin here for a little bit. And just leave the game running here. So we're looking to start the war with the USSR in June. We could wait a little bit longer. I think it makes sense to maybe push it back. Just depends how confident I feel on our ability to get a strong early push. Of course, the Americans are not in the war yet. It doesn't matter too much, though the longer we kind of wait on that, the worse it's going to be. We do have our armor set up here. Infantry stacked on all the lines. Of course, in the south, we have our allies there. I don't know, really. I mean, looking at our deficits, we have a shortage of artillery, so we need to put more into that. I would say maybe 2 lines of 10. That would be key. We can pull back a little bit on the trains. Anything else we can pull back on? We can pull back on the trucks. That's probably good for now. We're going to need more anti-air. Yeah, we're going to need... Okay, let's... As much as I don't want to pull back on the Air Force, let's just do that. Just switch this up a little bit. Yeah, let's move these planes back down. Under here. As important as the Air Force is, it's our troops that are going to be doing the fighting. We're just supporting them. It's important that they have what they need. So this is for our range-focused air designer. Get some of these traits. Let's just go and queue up. So you can actually shift-click these and queue them up, which sometimes I'll set this up. Sometimes I like to take my time with it, but we'll just do something like this. That's fine. We'll probably have to come back to it anyway. What do we got here? Okay, so we'll have to pick another military high command here when we get a chance. And what is this? That's the Churchill speech. So we're going to get the Panzer Grenadiers. This is going to give motorized and mechanized attack, which is going to be really nice. And we have a dangerous naval invasion of Greece. And this is the Australians. Okay, we're going to need some kind of response force in order to deal with some of these guys, which, I mean, I could spare some tanks. I could use these motorized, which, where are these guys? Okay, they're up here. They're part of this army. Does it make sense to train up some more? I mean, how many spare tanks do we have in the field? Let me let the game run. So we have a lot of light tanks to spare, but I know we have plenty of trucks. It makes sense to get some more of the normal panzer divisions then, and maybe get those set up in the south as sort of a rapid response force. We can get the paratroopers set up. So let's get, I don't know, Carl Elixir here. He's got some nice special forces bonuses. As for what we use for the icon here, we can do something like that. I'll come up with an interesting name for that, but let's see. Let's just make it a nice, I don't know, pink. Pink's good. Let's set them up in an airbase here in Warsaw. And it's here that we could deploy transport. And that way we could have some paratrooper missions set up potentially in the future. Let's see what kind of decisions we have. Proclaim the new order. Oh, right. That's like the new Greater Germany thing. Once we get enough territory. So, let's see. We need to pick our next. Ooh, advanced radio looks pretty nice. Infantry equipment's a little out of date. I think we need to get them mechanized, though. Start putting that into our medium divisions. Once we get it building, the earlier we get it building, the better it's going to be. As for our last guy we can get here, I would love to get the tactical bombing expert. But of course, I don't think we can do that because we went dive bombers. That's right. Okay. So, who could we get? Airborne assault. That's paratrooper anti-air defense. That's interesting. Adaptive engineer. Interception mission. You could just get the infantry guy, commando. That could be useful for more divisions. Just get the army regrouping expert, actually. But I think actually close air support makes the most sense, just for that extra ground attack factor. So Bulgaria accepted our fighters. Panzer Troop School. Logistics system. Nationalized the Ford factories. Well, that's pretty good. Salvage captured equipment. So let's see. What can we do in terms of the... By the way, we can start getting some of these industry ones, which we definitely want to start getting down there. Innovative warfare. Could get some of that. Subjugate the Roman economy. Could do that. Which I think this would give us trade deal factor. Help us with the oil. We could get Swiss gold, which would help us a little bit. Could reintegrate Alsace-Lorraine. It's more of just a bonus thing. So expand SS recruitment. Allows for the formation of special subject states. Okay, so this is what we need to do to get the Reichskommissariats. I think it makes sense to start working on that now. And after that, maybe we'll look at beginning the USSR war declaration. Focus anyway. As for when we'll declare war, that remains to be seen. We still have some deficits we need to clear up. There's no need to force the issue, just for the sake of historical means. We can be a little bit more strategic than that, but we don't want to wait too long. So we got another piece of research here we can invest in. Could do some investments in the Navy. Get new destroyers, cruisers. Yeah, you know, let's get the new cruisers, and let's do the refurbishment and repair manufacturer. And see, we got the improved medium airframe, so this would be the replacement for our strategic bombers. So let me see. I don't want that. I mean, what am I doing on this strategic bomber? Let me compare my design. Right, so I just did a normal bomber. I did light machine gun defense. Okay, so we can do that. Let's get rid of that. Let's add on maybe the extra fuel tanks. Or the armor plates. That would lower the range. Might just get the self-sealing fuel tanks and call it a day. Yeah. Might get the most bonuses with the Focke-Wulf. Might give more ground attack. This gives away more reliability and everything. So we better go with that. And we'll change up that to the other MIO since we're swapping to that one. And I think that makes the most sense. And what else we got here? But yeah, I hope everyone had a nice little Thanksgiving and everything. I know hadn't been uploading in a while. I was just taking a little break, enjoying some time with family and friends, just kind of relaxing and enjoying the holidays. So we got raids available up there. Could get the excavation. I think it makes sense to get the advanced fire control so we can put that on our ships, because the fire control is actually one of the best ways to improve your ships, in my opinion. We could keep working on this here. Get the Air Force Department. We've got the cipher for the UK. Let's see, we can start getting some more resistance decreased. We could do that here. I think that makes sense. So this is for our design. We're not even using this designer anymore, actually. That's okay. So we're going to get this done, and that'll allow us to unlock some of the administrative district stuff, which we're taking a look at. So we got that. Could expand SS recruitment. Don't really care about that just yet. These don't matter. Can bypass that because the Baltics have already been annexed. Yeah, so subjugate the Romanian economy. That could be useful for the oil. We don't really need that just yet. Special project speed. Ooh, 2-year ahead time penalty reduction for armor technology, support artillery, ships, and aircraft. That's really nice. This is also really good. I mean, man, there's so many good stuff. We got the things I wanted to get before the war in both of these. So I'm not looking at getting anything more with our army branches yet. Rather, I think it makes sense to get these really good economy ones now that we have the tech for them. Okay, so we need to deal with some of the issues here. So let's go ahead and get these Reichskommissariats set up. So let's get 50 of these. Let's get this one. This one. Let's get the German officials for all of them. So this is for Norway. Okay. Looks good. We'll set these up where we can. We do need to get the passive defense because we do have some activity in our country, as expected. So that's going to give us a little more factories, actually, because we're getting more than we would be from just occupying the regions. Because you do get a little bit more, generally, from puppets than you would otherwise. So we're going to continue to let these train. That's more efficient than me trying to train them in the field. Though, that being said, I think it makes sense to go and train these here, since we're not looking at a war immediately. Get those tanks trained up as much as we can. We do have some traits for these guys, and they're just the normal thing. So what is this? We got an incoming raid. I mean, once again, we're just gonna have to try and repel that. Not much we can do. We already have our interceptors in the air. So what is this? This is for our naval bomber designers. I didn't upgrade that. We need to go back and do that. Let's come down here. That is not the right one. These should be decommissioned. Yeah, the basic ones need to be decommissioned. We have improved transport planes, and we're still making the old ones. Hold on. Yeah, we're still making the old ones we have improved. Let's remedy that. Let's upgrade the engines on the improved naval bombers. And I don't know if we've actually done that on the other ones. So let's fix that. Let's swap out the improved transport. Let's let's take a look at these. Make sure we've upgraded the engines on all of our plane designs that we're currently using. I think it was just the naval bombers there that we were not up to date with. Let's get the traits for the artillery there. I'll swap this out. See how we're doing on our deficits. We're doing better, but not really good enough. Yeah, we have plenty of infantry equipment. A healthy stockpile is good, but even still, really need to up. The artillery and anti-air coming out. Okay, got another naval invasion of Greece. We may have to just put some divisions down here, and I think that's exactly what we're going to do. Where are these guys? We had these guys up in Oslo, defending for naval invasions. So maybe we put these guys actually down in Greece. I don't know if Athens or Thessaloniki. Let's put them sort of strategically both in Athens and Thessalonica. And let's take a look at the designer here for our tanks. Yep, let's go and just start queuing some of these up so we're not spending too much time in these menus for some of these designs. Let's go and swap this out. This is the Panzer III designer. Yeah, I mean, they actually took this. So let's go and speed these guys up down there a little bit faster so we can ensure that we don't get a salient, an unwanted salient going on down there. Don't want to give them beachhead. So it is June. So the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact is probably over. Inner circle recovering economy. I don't remember where it shows here anymore, but it should essentially be over. I cancel it. And cancel the non-aggression pact, which I will do before we go to war there. So let's check how our resources are doing. We can tamper back on the rubber there. We're doing fine on the oil. We could do this just in case it gets a little spotty once we're actually at war. We need to deploy some planes here, is one thing I'm looking at. So these are my tactical bombers. Okay. And we have close air support. So we need to make sure that we're putting more in the field. So let's go and let's add some quick deploy buttons for all of these. And we're going to get some new close air support wings. Yeah. We're going to see how many we can deploy. Okay. That might be all I can do. Let's see, this tactical bombers. We got fighters here. We can just control click those. Then for the naval bombers, we can deploy those as well. Let's set them to normal operations. And we'll set them day and night. These guys are also set up, ready to go. We're adding more fleets. Let's get these upgrades. Queue these up as well. Let's get the mechanized ones. Something like that. Looks good to me. Okay, so let's look at some of the other Reichskommissariats. So we can get the general government from Poland there. Get the Czechoslovakians. Let's get the Belgians now. Put German official in there next. And yeah, again, I mean, that's way more efficient in terms of factories. And that's kind of what we want. But we do need to check the radar here. We do have radar on these borders. Don't seem to be needing refineries just yet. We'll need more air bases though. So let's get... Well, Milmel's a little bit risky, but that's also pretty deep into their territory. I don't mind building a little bit of infrastructure there if I'm going to be building from scratch. Yeah, that makes sense. So we got another airbase there. So we cover the front. Okay. Get the multi-charge guns here. So we already built some. So let's see. So I have these built. So barrage, mission efficiency 1. So I don't know, I mean, does this cost me anything? Enemy buildings, infrastructure, and industry. I mean, I guess I could just... Let's see, where's the other one? Because I built it here. Curiously. Oh, I don't have access to it. That's right. It's already built there, so I only have this one now. Okay. Well, that's fine. Let's keep the game running here. So capture another British operative. Let's go and get the passive defense upgrade. Enemy raids executed here. Lost 65 planes. 0.005 levels of damage. So it wasn't very successful, but let's go and set these to train. We need to move these guys out. We need to set them all to train here until they are fully trained. Same here. Let's move the tactical bombers here. So we're not doing anything we don't need to do. I got another prototype decision. This is for the fleet submarines. Let's get the attack capability. Okay, let's get the general government. Another German official in there. Okay, so that's going to help with, again, more of that resistance we've been having. And everything going on there. So, our fuel is going down, but even with our full Air Force training for the most part, it would take well over 5 years for us to drain what we have. But that's not including our fleets and our tanks being mobilized. So we can't take that for granted. And I think it's definitely safe to say we're going to need some more refineries. So I was talking to somebody in the comments, and they mentioned that, you know, in many ways, the 4-year plan route as Germany is good. And it is very good. But the problem is you kind of have to guarantee that you're going to be getting consistent conquests. If you wait too long to essentially conquer anything, it's going to hit your economy extremely hard and extremely fast. And, you know, right now is probably one of the biggest benefits we're getting from going the prioritized economic growth route. Because right now we're not really conquering anything. We're building up for the Soviet Union. We're not really planning on taking out the UK early. I suppose we could have tried to... If I had done more of a Navy game early on, I could have built up big enough of a fleet in order to, you know, potentially outmaneuver the British. But we didn't do that. So essentially, we're looking at more of a long-term game against the Allies, which is kind of what I prepared for. But, you know, there's definitely things you can do to make use of that. So by the way, we're working down here to get to this new trait in our inner circle. Get the Swiss gold, reintegrate that territory, subjugate the Romanian economy, a coup in Liechtenstein. But I think it makes sense to go and start working towards the war with the USSR and canceling that non-aggression pact. We can keep it for now, just for the sake of it. We do need to fix this front line. I don't know why it... This is interesting. So it's split our front lines. Okay, that's interesting. So let me pull this back then, I guess. Bringing this line back down. And then put everyone back on this front line like so. Okay, well, that's interesting. So can't make any more of these Reichskommissariats. Fate of Slovakia. That's interesting. So I would have needed parts of Hungary to make this one. That's for the south. It's interesting some of the scenarios they let you have for these. But yeah, now we have the Reichskommissariats, and these are going to be a little bit better for our garrisons and all that. But I do want to go and get the military police because we will be making some garrisons. Or rather, having to make use of our garrisons as we conquer the USSR. So it's important to be ready for that and have a garrison that's not going to be inefficient. Let's go ahead and just swap this out. So this is the basic medium. I do have the improved medium tank chassis, so let's go ahead and make these new designs. And we're going to call these the Panthers. These would be the Panthers. So we're going to do the medium howitzer, sloped armor, easy maintenance, wet ammunition storage. We're going to crank up the engines as much as possible. Welded armor, Christie suspension. We'll lower that till we get about 70. That's a good amount of armor, 100 armor. Actually, I want to do 3-man turret's pretty good for breakthrough. It's a lot more breakthrough. But the speed's nice, but we're kind of capped out anyway. So that looks like that will be our Panther. But of course the design is a little bit too expensive. So I don't know what we could... This would be more expensive. No, it's the same. Okay, well we're gonna try and keep the window open there. And I don't know, we could just set our troops to train real quick. Try and get some XP. So we don't have to rebuild that. You know, I wish they let you minimize this or something. That would be very useful. I always have this happen, just a few XP short, and then you gotta figure out if you can get some XP real quick. So we got the XP for that. So we got the Panthers. Let's get our improved medium tanks. So that'll be what we're using as the backbone of this army here. The light tanks are continuing to train there. Looking at maybe getting war bonds next with our political power, since we have all of our high command and everything complete. And man, they are just continuing to hit us with those naval invasions in Greece. I don't know if they're actually successful or it's just warning us. We're gonna have to go take a look at that. Let's get their production resource penalty reduction there. And again for the escort fleets. Just continuing to get these dealt with. We do have some ships to design. I don't know, you know, if we're going to be able to do this, because it would be a heavy battery, like the cruiser engine, secondary battery, no armor, secondary battery, where are they? Okay, it'd be anywhere. We can do that. You upgrade that, and that's basically the design. So we'd want to do something like, well, let's go and replace that. So once again, just the littlest bit short. So let's go ahead and train, I guess we do train our subs here. Why not? Just send them out to train real quick. Just need 1 XP. Okay, so we're going to call this the... Oh, I don't know. We can call it the... Let's see, what are the names here? We'll call it the... Call it the Stosh. Stosh class. So it's already got class in there, so we can just do that. That is the overall design there. And that's a nice cheap cruiser that is very fast and will be cheap to get out. So we can actually just build these last two and then go all in on these newer, nicer, better cruisers. And that'll be what we want to do. Are these... You know what? Hold on. Are these actually giving us any benefits? So armor and HP. Let's get max range of fuel usage. Light attack. I mean, armor and HP is good. Max speed and sub detection. But they're not screens. Yeah, they're heavy. They're heavy ships. They're not screens, so they're not going to get they're not actually going to get those bonuses. So I don't know what it's talking about there. Let's get the upgrades for this. Okay, we can't. Not enough XP. Yeah, so I'm thinking we're currently building the self-propelled artillery and super heavy howitzers. And I'm kind of thinking it might make sense to put those... Oh, okay, so these are just junk divisions. We're going to throw those into our garrison whenever we get those from our puppets. Don't want to lend-lease. So we do need to move around some of these, because we're still garrisoning a lot of territory, especially in France, that we're not going to really be able to do anything about in terms of efficiency. Let's continue to let's start getting some collaboration governments. Let's not do it there though. We'll want to do it like where essentially, like, if I conquer it too quick, which, I mean, there's no guarantee I'll do it, but if I conquer it too quickly, I don't want to, like... Okay, so we got the war in the Philippines. So the US is now in the war. We'll get the barbarians from Sweden. That's going to help a lot. So we have Day of Infamy. We're definitely going to want to get this war started with the USSR now, as soon as possible. Now that the US is in the war, we definitely need to get in there and strike as quickly as we can against the USSR. Got the mechanized equipment here. Let's go and get that started. We're going to put a line into that once everything gets filled. It's not a essential need just yet, but we do want to make mechanized so we can start swapping that into our medium and potentially heavy tank divisions. Okay, Yugoslavian operative captured. We finished that last little upgrade there for the inner circle. We can start making some helicopters. Can I? Let's see, because I want to make sure it's actually on there. So we're getting the bonuses again. Some more equipment. Start making some helicopters. This is more for like just fun stuff, just for like support equipment and things like that. It's pretty nice. I've played a little bit with it. So Bulgaria is now reintegrating. So did they get Macedonia? They did. I think they got everything they wanted except for Dobruja. Yeah. They got everything they wanted except from Romania. So that's going to be a strong Bulgaria. So, what is this? Alfred Rosenberg. Okay. Okay, I didn't see this here, actually. It's cool they've got his inner circle symbol there. And man, these naval invasions. So this is... Okay, so that's Sardinia. So I was thinking about doing something here. Let's stop training these guys. We still could. But... No, that's right. We wouldn't be able to get any naval supremacy. That's the problem. I mean, Italy lost their fleet, so we would just be garrisoning ports for them, which, I mean, they have like one division there in Sardinia. I don't really have enough troops to garrison down there, but I do actually need to garrison this, I just noticed. Because that's right, we don't have any control in the Atlantic. So it would be foolish of me to think I could get away with that. We'll even have to garrison that, man. Let's get some more garrisons going, because Italy's incompetent. Yep. Should have known. Should have known. Okay, we are so close. Japan wants docking rights. We'll give it to them. Not that that's useful at all to them, but, you know, hey, I mean, they're our allies, so we'll give them what they need. Alright, excellent. Let's take a look at the Air Force here before we deploy. We've got these air bases set up. Okay, so... Okay, the fighters can be there. The close air support should be as close as possible to the front. These are transport. Fighter wings can go there. More fighter wings up here. We want to cover this because this is where we're going to be pushing with our armor. These are tactical bombers. These can sit back a little ways. They have quite a bit of range, so we'll want to do strategic bombing at intervals here. We can actually put them there. These can actually do close air support. Okay. We can do both then, because that way we can help these. Okay, so we can cover those with ground crews. This is where we're going to be focusing our push up in the north, so I don't need to worry too much about the south. We got naval bomber wings. We could put them here in the Baltic, some up there, and what we could do is just set them to naval strike. Yeah, just split them like that. I don't know, so wait. Yeah, we wouldn't want to do port strike. That's fine. Okay. And then we got these guys here. We need to really use them over here instead. So bring these fighters over to assist. And we'll want to add some more fighter wings into these positions. We need to add the wings to the different groups as well. Okay, so these are, what are these? Close air support, they go into this group. These are all fighters, they go into our fighter group. Naval bombers in the naval bomber group, and the transport over here. Okay. Yes. So those are all full, ready to go. We have the space, so we may as well do that. More transport wings. Don't need them just yet. I want to get some anti-air built. I'm thinking in here, because we're going to be getting bombed. We're going to be getting bombed, so I should really get some air supremacy going here, but it's fine. It's fine, it's fine. We do have that nice ball bearing trade though, so we do have that going for us. Let's see, so that's close air support. We have 495 close air support planes in the stockpile. We'll want to get those out. Definitely, we'll definitely want to get those out. So let's go ahead and let's just deploy them here. I don't know why it's... Okay, it's deploying them there. Well, 400 here. Okay, it's not going to let me deploy them because they haven't fully filled. Okay, now they have. So let's get these actually training here. Once they're fully trained, we can put them in the field. So these are fighter wings. Let's get them set there. Let's get the parachuting order filled out for our paratroopers. So we do something like this. I think... Okay. So... You get behind the river here. We're pushing in between the river line here. Through here, up into towards Smolensk. We could seize Minsk. I think it's a little bit too far back. I think these two supply hubs here would be really good. I think we're going to push so fast, though, it's almost not going to matter. But almost if we seize those really quickly, then we can just push faster. Also, we need to upgrade the bottlenecks here. It's going to just upgrade the port, which is fine. That's fine. We can seize those. So I'm comfortable with that. Yeah. We could do something like that. Vilna. I mean, really, we could just seize a bunch of these victory points in a bit of a group. I mean, what other supply hubs are there? We just get that one too. Just completely starve them of supply. They're not gonna cover it, so we can just do exactly enough to do 2 of each. Get that training. We should have air supremacy, so that should not be an issue. All right. So that should be war with the USSR. We will just get the war support and political power. We're not going to get the Cossack units. Let's go ahead and assign our extra naval fleets there. Let's pick our new research. I think it makes sense to get the motorized military police. Let's get the helicopter transport companies. Let's pick the focus next episode. And let's go ahead and cancel the non-aggression pact and declare war on the USSR. Victory is at hand. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to end the episode here today. We are all ready to go for war with the USSR. We will hit go on these and we will push into the Soviet Union and start seizing territory next episode. Thanks for watching. The war has officially kicked off against the Soviet Union. Excited to get into it. if you're enjoying the series, leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. We'll have an episode out really soon, and we'll be pumping out content. See ya.